Hello again. The hijacking of buildings in the city of Johannesburg remains a cause for concern. Some of the residential properties have turned into hubs for criminal activity. Earlier this year, the city reclaimed some of the buildings and returned them to their lawful owners. Let's find out how far the city is with its intervention measures to reclaim hijacked buildings. I'm joined now by Sindane. He speaks on behalf of the Group Forensic and Investigation Services of the city. Good afternoon, Mr. Sindane. Thank you very much for your time. So what are you doing about this phenomenon, this crime of hijacked buildings? Because it is not new.
Good afternoon, Praten. Thank you for having me. It's a problem that has been there for a while in the city of Johannesburg. I mean, when the administration, when they took over in 2016, one of the good things that they did was to establish this unit where we work and focus on property hijackings. So what we did as a department within the unit of property hijacking, we conducted an audit as to how many properties are hijacked in the city of Johannesburg and how many of those belong to the city of Johannesburg, and also try to trace those that belong to private owners who are no longer in the city of Johannesburg. Because if you travel around the city, especially the inner city of Johannesburg, you'll see a lot of abandoned buildings. Those buildings, owners have left those buildings. They cannot be traced. Some of them cannot be traced because you'd find that the building owes, for instance, if the properties were 3 million, but it owes rates and taxes 6 million. So the owners would abandon those buildings and leave them because they see no value in coming back and renovating those properties. So what we do as a city working with other departments, we trace the owners and try to release those buildings to be redeveloped.
Are you successful? Are you managing to do that?
With the capacity that we have, we are. But then what I'd like to say to you, property hijacking does not only happen in the inner city of Johannesburg. People think it only happens in the high-rise buildings that they see in the inner city. It happens everywhere across the city. Your affluent suburbs, Parktown, Sindane, even in Soweto. The most recent one, we handed the property back to the rightful owner a couple of weeks ago. A property that was hijacked by someone. So people see these properties that are abandoned and take advantage. Not only abandoned, as we are heading towards the festive season, that is where most property hijacking happens. Because people, remember, most of us come to Johannesburg for opportunities. We don't really stay here. We acquire whatever, we acquire assets. But then in December, we go and visit our families. So that's when these people come. They would come, pose as the rightful owners. They've got connections everywhere within the city.
If you say they've got connections, offices. They've got connections everywhere. So would some of them be government officials?
Yes, it's government officials. They work with government officials. I mean, these people have, when they come to you, they produce documents which look legitimate. They would come to your tenants and say, here are the documents. We have purchased the property from the owner. Please, when he comes here, do not allow him or let him not gain access to this property. They leave their people there. You will not have access to your property. So it is difficult. They've made it difficult. We deal with the syndicate here. But we are thankful to the residents of Johannesburg who have faith in our department, because they come to us and say, you know what, we've reported these cases to the South African Police Service for years, but nothing has happened. And we assist them. Up to so far, we've handed over about 56 properties back to the rightful owners. And we continue to do so, working with the communities, because now they come forward. They tell us who are the hijackers. Because before, they are afraid. They were afraid. They were not talking. They were just staying there. If you could see the conditions in which these people live, it's not, the buildings, people are not supposed to live in those conditions. And these hijackers take advantage of these poor people who come to our beautiful city. We will win. We will win this war against these property hijackers. It will take time, but we are slowly getting there. We are seeing the results, and we are happy with the results that we are seeing, and the support that we are getting from the South African Police Service, because they have given us a special dedicated unit that we work with. It deals with hijacked property cases only. So if we have cases, we refer to them as well. We do our preliminary investigations, and we also give the cases to them so that they could assist us with the arrest.
Yeah, we'll touch base with you a little bit later on in the year. As you said, ahead of December, it's a very vulnerable period for many of these property owners of Johannesburg as they travel back on holiday to visit families, and then these criminal syndicates, they then take charge. We just very briefly before you go, Mr. Sindane, have there been successful arrests and prosecutions? Because if some government officials are involved with these criminal syndicates, it tells you that right inside there you've got corrupt officials.
Yes, we have convictions. We have about 8 convictions since the unit was established in 2017. We have arrested kingpins, and there are cases that there's a big one that we're busy with now, and there are a lot of people that are involved. I would not want to talk about it, but we will come forward and give you the results. But yes, we have convictions. We have convictions.
Thank you very much. Lucky Sindane speaking on behalf of Joburg City's Group Forensic and Investigation Service Unit about their efforts to stop and fight against the hijacking of buildings. And he makes a very valid point. It's not just in the inner city that you see buildings being hijacked, the high-rise buildings, also in affluent suburbs and in townships like Soweto. There are these criminal syndicates who work with government officials who are corrupt and who are creating this, who are feeding off this crime of hijacked buildings.